What is going on, Future Focus family? My name is George. We talk about investing here on this channel. And today we're going to go through a lot of different things. First of all, I want to talk about what would you do or what would I do if I had $1,000 and that's all I had to invest. I had other money. I had my emergency fund built. I had, my fund build, but I only had $1,000. How would I invest that today? So what we're going to go through first is we're going to go through some bubble charts, look at what the market is doing today, both crypto and stock market. We're not going to talk about real estate today or taxes or any of that other stuff. We're going to just keep it to crypto and to the stock market. But with all that said, let's roll that intro really quick. All right. So, like I said, we're going to get right into it. We're going to look at these bubble charts and we're going to look at what the market is telling us today. The last few weeks, the market has been down. It's been crazy. But today, we had a slight pop in some of the different stocks. So, one of the ones we've been talking about is Netflix, as you guys know. And as of today, Netflix is up. It's currently 82.79. I was accumulating a lot of it around the $77 level, as I've told you guys in previous videos. But the big thing I want you guys to consider is do not get overly excited as we go through and we look at the different markets and see how it's operating. We can't just look at one day. For example, we look at 1 hour. What has the market done in the past hour? And this is what the price action has been in the past hour. For example, Palantir, if you look at it in a day, right, we'll draw it right here to the left-hand side, top left corner. Palantir is up today, 3.58%. But I like this asset right here, banterbubbles.com, because I can just bring it here to the 1 hour chart and see what is it doing in the past hour. So we go to Palantir, we look at it, and it's down 0.93%. So is this a buy? Is this not a buy? And that's when we can like click on it and go through it and look at some of the market action and see, what is going on today. Currently, the price of Palantir, for example, it's in the last hour, it's down 0.93%. In the last month, it's down negative 20.31%. But year over year, it is up 51.93%. So as of right now, am I buying Palantir? I did buy a little bit, but not a lot. I bought not even a share of it. I did some dollar cost averaging and I bought just a little bit because it is down in that threshold where I like to see stocks down around that 20%. So as you can see in the 1 month, it's down 20%. And I thought it was a good opportunity to get in there and purchase some. And that's what I did. So I bought some Palantir. Today, I did not buy any Netflix at all. I bought Tesla yesterday. Tesla is another one that is down, and it's not down a lot, but I still think for what they're got going for them, if we look at the 1 month chart for them, I do think that there is a lot of room to grow. And again, I'm looking at these in a long-term perspective. If you're trying to trade and do like trades and stuff, that's not what we're doing here. That's not what what this channel is about. This channel is more about long-term investing, not only making money, but also keeping money. So yeah, another one that's we've been talking about here is Uber. So we'll put Uber here in the left-hand corner. In the past month, it's down 11%. In the past year, however, Uber is down negative 2.94%. As you can see, looking at it in the 1 year chart, it's bounced up, it's come back down. And this one I really, really find attractive under $80. And as you can see today, it's 72.75. Full disclosure, my cost basis on this with about 125 shares. I'm at about $32 because I did buy this a lot during the pandemic when it was like 16 bucks. And then I've been dollar cost averaging into it. And because of that, my cost basis has gone up. But that's some of the stock markets, some of the way the stock markets going through. Let's look at the crypto market. This is the crypto bubbles here, and it's the same thing. Let's look at the past day. What's up? A favorite of the channel, it's ADA. We're right here. Cardano, it's up 18.5%. Let's open it up. Let's look at what the price is. Currently, in the past month, we are down. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. In the past month, we are down on this one 12.9%. In the past year, we've gone down over half. And that's just the past year. If we go and look and take a deeper look into it, it's down even further than that. So I've been accumulating under 30 cents, as you can. Let me zoom in again. So as you can see, currently the price is 30.76. It was around $26. I was buying some at that price, 27, 28. I purchased a few uh, different ADA, but that's where I'm at. We got XRP that's up today, 8.7%. But one thing I want you to pay attention to is that in the past day, you see a lot of green there. And this is where a lot of investors make mistakes. They go into it and they start looking and saying, the market is green today. This means we should go in and buy, right? Like, I see green, I like green. Let me go in there and purchase more. But no, you want to take the opposite approach of that. You want to be buying when the market is down. I currently work with an individual. He's probably going to watch this video too if he's not watching right now. But this individual bought XRP, and I actually convinced him to sell about $2 and around $2.80. And he really did it reluctantly. And now we're down. He actually, no, I'm sorry. He sold at 310, and then he bought back in at $2.80. Everything he sold, he bought back in at $2.80. And now we're down a lot. And I told him, do not go in there and buy it right away. Like, wait. The market is going to go down. The market's going to drop. I promise you. And he didn't listen. And now, he's kind of biting himself. But as you can see, we are in this area today where we see a lot of green. Past week, we have Pippin that's up. It's been on a tear. It's up 46%. Am I jumping in that one? Definitely not. I will look at something like Atom and say, Atom has actually been down. I would take a deeper look into it and say, why is it down? Let's go to the crypto. So again, we got Pippin here killing it in the past year, over 2,000% increase. And does it have more room to grow? So we could wait, pull up the Pippin chart. And this is the kind of exuberance that just keeps building and building and building. And then, the market cap of this will explode. It's in the Solana ecosystem. And, TBD is live on Solana App Store, offering free bets up to $100. This is some news on this right now. So there's a lot of good news going into Pippin, and that's why people are jumping in. And then they see something under $1, they could purchase a lot of it, a lot of the coins, and they feel like they're accomplishing something. But I would tell you to just watch yourself. Do not go all in. Let's look at the S&P 500. We'll look at it. Let's look at the 1 month chart. As you can see, we got lower highs and lower lows. Even though we did bounce here, we still have lower highs and lower lows. One thing I did do, I added some pivots. So we could take a look at some pivot quantities here, some dollar values that you guys may get value out of. Some of the highest one here is at 7,002, because we did break that 7,000 on the S&P 500. But here the low is currently 67.75, and today we sit at 6,946. To add more elements to this, I also included the support and resistance levels with breaks. So as you can see, we have some different annotated support levels and resistance levels. We could go back to a 5-year chart, look at the year-to-date chart. We're still right here. The one I want you guys to look at is the 3-month chart. And as you can see, we've just been bouncing up and down on this between this support and this resistance level, and we have not made any headway. So moving forward, like I could really see us just continuing to do this until we have some more structure and more news on the economic front. We did break this level of resistance here at 6,917. However, we have not closed above it for enough days for me to be convinced that we don't not have more room to run downward. So just keep that in mind. But it's been 10 minutes. I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time. What would I do with $1,000 right now, which is the whole premise of this video? And if you guys made it this far, I just wanted to show some context before we talked about it. So if I had $1,000 today, let me look at this. What's today's date? Today is the 25th of February. I would literally do nothing today. I would not invest $1 in any asset, in any stock, in any crypto if I only had that 1,000. What I would do today is I would find like I don't recommend ETFs. I don't recommend those because yes, they are safe. However, they all come with a fee. Some of them come with a fee of like ARK Invest. Some of they're like 0.7%. And if you go with a mutual fund, some of those are like 2% for a Vanguard ETF or a mutual fund. So some of those are extremely high. Now you have to beat that 7%, and then you could start making gains, because every quarter, no matter how they perform, you're going to be paying these fees to them, and they're going to take it straight out of what you've invested. So you're going to be kind of oblivious to it, but you are losing. Even on top of when you're winning, you're losing a little bit, and even when you're winning, you're losing even more, because they are going to take theirs no matter how their ETF performs. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. So I would pick a few stocks of companies that you believe. Let's say three. Pick three. For example, for me today, they would be Netflix, they would be Uber, and they would be let's say a dividend stock. Not too high of a dividend stock, but we'll go with Starbucks. So I would pick those three, and I would just investigate them and go look at how their quarterly earning reports have gone. You don't have to go and read the whole 10K or 10Q. I would just go and read what did they say what the analysts think they were going to make, and what did they actually make. Did they make more money this quarter than they made last quarter? There's some companies out there that are down and they've been doing well. For example, Netflix is down because they have some news where they're trying to purchase something and it's not looking like they may purchase it. And there's a lot of questions up there. So their stock is getting hit. But if you look at their last earning report, it was actually a positive earnings report, and they had positive feedback. So just looking at things like that, then I would look at three cryptocurrencies. The first one would obviously be Bitcoin. And then if you want to keep it safe, I would go Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Just three popular ones that in a huge sell-off, these are not going to, go back to 2018 prices. They still have communities, they still have followings, they actually have something fundamentally keeping them afloat, unlike these other ones that they're just popular, they're winning popularity votes. So I would pick three of those, and again, investigate those. Once you've done that, then I would follow them for a little bit until you feel comfortable, and then I would just start slowly purchasing them. All right. If you have any questions or you want to see more feedback, more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. If you like content like this, please think about subscribing. It truly means a lot to me. Hit that like button. What I've been thinking about doing is actually showing you guys like one of my portfolios and like going through it and show you kind of my philosophy and why I build that. If that's something that interests you, just let me know, and we can do that together. But as always, invest in me and press that like button, invest in yourself, and smash that subscribe button. It literally costs you nothing. Until next time.